Okay, so this is a quick discussion on a recent IELTS question. Talk about someone whom you helped in studies. Please say who was he or she, why did you help him or her, and how did you feel after that? Um, as usual, it's really important to spend the 1 minute that IELTS people give you very wisely. Spend it very wisely, brainstorm about the topic, and how will you move about this topic? Well, you must first have some idea about someone. Do not quickly jump to who was he. You have to put the type of someone. Okay, that's called an organized response. You move from macro to micro. You move from a larger picture to a smaller picture. So what can be the type of someone? That someone can be your friend, a classmate, a junior, a senior, a neighbor, a stranger. Um, Better still, you should also talk about whether this was at a college, whether this was in college, university, or school, or perhaps at tuition. Okay, so give a setting. What were the circumstances? What was the type of that person? And then you name that person. Okay, XYZ was that person. So give a complete setting, a story type of thing, so that the examiner gets an impression that okay, you are good in communication. So after quickly jotting this down, who the someone is, and about the settings, perhaps your city as well. But when I was doing graduation in the New York City, um, my classmate named the person, asked me for help in psychology, or named the subject. Okay, so about studies, you should name the subject. It's really important because unless you name the subject, you cannot conclusively say why you helped him or her. Now, that's important because a subject will determine whether you were really good in that subject or not. So you have to say, I helped him or her in psychology since I was the university topper in that subject, or since it was part of my bachelor's internship or master's thesis. It all depends upon the subject, and based on that, you will build a story around reasons. Okay, so about reasons, it should be a very structured response. Why did you help him or her? You should say primarily it was due to 3 reasons or 4 reasons. When you say 3 reasons or 4 reasons, and then you named firstly, I was a college topper in that subject. Secondly, I had recently excelled in exams. Um, Thirdly, I had some free time. Raise only 3 points. In fact, these 2 points are point number one and point number two are the same. So point number two is an explanation of point number one. So this is point one, this is point number two, and this is point number three. The person really needed my help since she was not good at that particular subject. So you have to give an organized, a very structured response. Remember, a response which has some settings around it, some background to it, um, plus examples, plus answers which have a very structured format, organized response, they score better. Because this is an exam of communication, a communication includes some sort of story element, and a communication includes some sort of organization of ideas. Organization of ideas. So these are some of the ideas that you can use. Now the feelings part, how did you feel after that? Well, this is one area where most students lack. I have put them into 2 parts. I have put 2 feelings, feeling number one, feeling number two. So it's really important that once you give a feeling, you must give reason for that feeling. Why did you really feel good about that? Okay, this is wrong. So why did you feel um, pleased? Why did you feel proud, or why did you feel glad? Because I had helped someone after a long time. and then you can raise another feeling. Moreover, I feel contented, satisfied, because usually in school settings we face competition, but in this case, I cooperated with someone, I worked as a team member to help someone. So that was a different feeling. In colleges, universities, or schools, what we usually see is a feeling of competition. You have to score more than others, and rarely is there a situation when you help someone to score better. And this was a moment of cooperation. So I felt contented and satisfied about it. Okay, so the basic purpose here was to help you brainstorm about this topic and give you some idea about how things can be organized to give a strong answer. Again, before closing this, remember, organized content is always better than a chaotic, haphazard content. Okay, that helps you score better. Organization will definitely improve your bands. So this was my take on this answer. Thank you for watching the video. Please share it with your friends, and keep coming back for more interesting stuff.